I don't know what to do with my hands. These are my hands. Hey, I have hands. You don't need to gesture all the time. Everyone has a different level that they're comfortable with, and you must gesture in a way that is right for you. The reason why so many people find gesturing awkward is because they're having to think about what their hands are doing. And you don't want to have to think about what your hands are doing. The big rule, the only rule, because I don't like rules, I like to break rules. The only rule that I have around gesture is that it must be in alignment. It must be contextualized by what you're saying. So if my gestures and my voice and my words are not in alignment, if they're not doing the same thing, if my brain is doing one thing and my mouth is doing one thing, but my hands are doing something else, that is the wrong way to do gestures. Your hands are an extension of your voice. You want your voice body instrument to be working as one. It's not a whole bunch of different elements that you're bringing together. You are one being. Your voice, your hands, your words, your breath, they should all be working together, not as separate entities. If I don't remember to stay connected, if I don't ground myself, my gestures will be symptoms of the nerves instead of indicate what I'm saying. If I'm nervous and my hands are kind of just moving all the time, and my speaking maybe is quite slow, and it's really hard to think and speak and do this at the same time. But you can see that my hands are completely out of sync with what I'm saying. That is terrible. And it will mostly happen as a symptom of nerves. But you don't want to be thinking about your hands. You don't want to be thinking about what they're doing. But also, you don't want to kind of consciously bring them in and out. So when you're on Zoom, that becomes even more important because my hands are now out of frame. And so if they're coming in and out all the time, that's very distracting. I want to keep them in frame. But when we're on stage, it's less about coming in and out of frame because that's not a thing. When you have your arms down, when you're not using them, we can disconnect from the arms and they can become dead. They become like dead arms, they become dead weight. And then it becomes very difficult to bring them into play. And that's when you're tempted to think about them. That's when you're tempted to choreograph. That's when you kind of bring attention to them because you're like, I don't know what to do with my hands. These are my hands. Hey, I have hands. Don't choreograph your gestures because then that's never going to be natural. So if you're finding gestures difficult, instead of overthinking them, which is always a bad idea, instead of overthinking gestures, bring your hands up at the beginning. So what I like to do is if I am starting a speech or if I'm, saying welcome or whatever, I always just bring my hands up in a kind of generic open gesture. Welcome. My name is Danielle Benson. Now they're up here. And once they're in play, I don't need to think about them. They will move of their own accord. And if I am connected to my body, they will move in a way that highlights what I'm saying, that is in alignment with what I'm saying. If I'm disconnected from my body, then they're either just being held at my sides or they're fidgeting and fiddling. But if I bring them into play early on, then that takes away that real awkwardness of, I've been speaking for a really long time and my hands have been by my side for a really long time and now I don't know how to bring them up. So it's going to be this weird gesture and I'm going to talk with my hands and then I put them back. You don't want to be self-conscious about them. Open house is something that happens every month or two. This is a live stream, but I like to work with people when they're kind of in rehearsal. So you can have something polished or something that you're working on, that's absolutely fine. I do just want to let everyone know you do not have to have something prepared. If you want to practice speaking and you don't have something prepared, I am very good at interviewing people and I will ask you questions and you can answer them. So you don't have to have something prepared, but if you want to, great. But I encourage you, if you've been thinking, oh, should I speak? Should I not speak? No pressure. I don't believe in pressuring people. But if you would like to, just know that there are spots available. So you can if you want. You all have so much to share, and I love hearing what you have to say and what you're up to and what you're doing and what you're passionate about. And I love the fact that I get to create a space where you can connect with each other and hear from each other as well. So I'd love to see you.